Good morning, everyone. Today is the Solemnity of Our Lady, Mother and Queen. Now, that's kind of the conclusion of the week that began with the Assumption of Mary. Now, normally the Assumption of Mary would have taken place on the 15th of August. In our part of the world, it has moved to the Sunday. That is to make sure that people will get to that Mass. I suppose Thursday would have just been an ordinary working day and many people wouldn't. And moving to the Sunday just makes sense. So today is a kind of the conclusion of that, but this week has been a very important one for us in our observation of Our Lady. Just to draw attention to you, some of you may or may not have liturgical calendars, and the week that we're in at the moment is this one. We see lots of white spots, and that basically means that our liturgical color is white, and therefore it means that we're celebrating a lot of saints in that week. Last week we had lots of reds, which obviously quite a few martyrs that we recognized last week. Quite a good idea if you can get hold of a liturgical calendar. That does help you to keep track of what feasts we are celebrating in the church, and also, it gives you a little visual reminder, I think, of where we are. So the conclusion of the week that began with the Assumption, and Father spoke about that in quite detail, and so I won't repeat it other than just to remind ourselves that we are challenged to follow Our Lady in the way in which she lived, so that we too can be with the Lord. In the Gospel today, we've got Matthew's Gospel, chapter 22, and the question is asked of Jesus, which is the greatest commandment? Which is the greatest commandment? Now, you see, once again, people are trying to catch Jesus out because the 10 commandments in the Jewish tradition, that would be important. And if Jesus was to identify just one of the commandments, then they would say, oh, then you're saying the other ones are not important. And clearly Jesus was wise to that. And so his response was an important one too, when he says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And then the second one, love your neighbor as yourself. And if you look carefully at those, the instructions of Jesus summarize the 10 commandments. They don't take anything away from them. I think that is the important message for us today. Not to diminish the 10 commandments. And some people sort of say, well, they're old now, we don't have to worry about them. They don't apply to us anymore. Things like we don't have to go to Mass every Sunday. Let's get with the times. Once I know, keeping the Sabbath holy is one of the 10 commandments still in place. And we need to make sure that we stick with that and not allow other things to get in the way. So not allow the commandments to diminish. But if we're having difficulty with them, let's look at why they are there and understand that they're a good idea. Because Jesus gave them to us for a reason. At least he supported them. And certainly God gave them to Moses so that people could live the right way. You have a wonderful Friday. We'll see you again next week. God bless. Bye-bye.